Hey there guys, what's going on? So, my time is winding down here for this particular installment of recordings for today, which might not make sense because I think these are going to be staggered over the next few days, but in this moment in time, as we speak, or I speak in this moment, time is running a little bit short for today, and I wanted to try, in this session, I guess you'd say, and I wanted to try to do one more little unboxing video for all of the ideas and stuff that you saw present in the week in preview video. Go watch that if you haven't just yet. And I wanted to get to this little album before I finished up for today, which is none other than Neil Young's unexpected, very nitty-gritty, emphasis on gritty covers album, A Letter Home. I first heard a little bit about this a ways back, when I had heard, Neil Young had visited Jack White's Third Man Records studio. They'd done some collaborating together. They'd done some stuff. It really wasn't clear on exactly what it was, and then it kind of became evident, okay, so he'd done a bunch of covers in one of Jack's many mad scientist machines or ideas relating to vinyl and old music and stuff like that. And no one was really sure just exactly what this was or what the intent of this was, but it was going to be along at some point, and then suddenly Record Store Day 2014 shows up and bam, here it is, this record drops. It definitely suits the wild-eyed experimentation of and stunt work that Jack White seems to like doing with his vinyl stuff and his company at Third Man Records. I applaud it for being inventive and interesting at the very least. I would definitely say that this is not one that is going to immediately appeal to everybody, and I would say that mostly because of the fact that it sounds like absolute crap. And I mean that in terms of sound quality, because it was recorded, and basically, and I don't know the finer details of this, it was recorded in this booth that you see on the photo here, on the cover here, which dates back to like 1947. It's refurbished technology, the whole thing. And I had initially read into it as some sort of thing that would record straight to vinyl or something like that, but it might have been adapted in a different way, and I might be confusing Jack's wacky science experiment machines. Who knows? You have to take a look at it with a grain of salt. You have to look at it like that. Like you're unearthing this really cool recording from this artist. You have to make believe you're not in 2014. You're way back at the beginning. You're in the Woody Guthrie era. You're in the beginning of Robert Johnson's time with the Delta Blues and what was to come with that. You're in a different space. You're in a different sense of things and how things were recorded, and you're with Neil, who's really got very little more than just his guitar. He's occasionally joined by piano on just a track or two, and Jack White on backing vocals and guitar. But otherwise, it just is very simple. Guitar, some harmonica here and there, and Neil just basically covering songs that were close to him, close to his childhood, or songs that he did when he was young, or just things that took him back to a certain time and place. The record actually kind of starts on sort of an odd note, A Letter Home intro, which is basically Neil kind of talking to his mom and talking about the weather here and the weatherman, and it seems very random on its face, a very odd opening, but it's almost very sweetly poignant in a way, because there is this man who's I think in his 60s or 70s now. I can't remember which, but I want to say that Neil is probably just into his 70s at this point. Kind of speaking into this machine, this old machine, and it just, I don't know, it gives you a sense of like there's this beaming through of even this man who's now old and in his age and stuff. There's the beaming through of this young man, of this almost like sweetly naive young man, like something from the war or somebody writing back, well, a letter home, And there's actually another little spoken part. I can't remember where it starts. It might be before the beginning of the second side, where he addresses his mom again, but then talks about, and about saying hi to Ben for me, and mentioning Ben, and Ben being Ben Keith. who was his longtime band member in like Crazy Horse and his solo stuff, Harvest. Like in his film projects, they were like this. They were blood brothers. You know, they were just these close guys. They worked together all the time. And Ben Keith sadly died a few years ago. So it almost takes this area of just, you listen to it and you hear him mention Ben's name, and it's like, you know, if you know who that is, or it's like it hits you. It's like, oh, this just, it's sex. It's like he's addressing. It's like this is a letter home, kind of a path to the past, and a little note to the people up there. But there are a great selection of songs on here. Changes, Phil Oakes, Girl from the North Country, Dylan, which was actually confusing to me at first. It's actually the first of two different renditions that Dylan did of Girl from the North Country. I was actually much more familiar with the cut that he put out with Johnny Cash on the Nashville Skyline album, but there's a different kind of a faster version of it on the I actually just got this record. You're going to see it in another video. The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, that's the word I was looking for. This will be in another video, so just pretend like it's not here. And that's where this one kind of seems to be the brethren of, at least in terms of cover standards. The wonderful Needle of Death, which is a Burt Jansch song, very dark, and kind of made all the more dark by its, you know, recording and its fuzziness and its sadness to it, because the song came out in 1965, I believe it was, and Neil had heard it and was not only inspired by it, it later ended with him writing Needle and the Damage Done because of this song. So it really, it again touches on just the dangers of drugs and the people who died of these, I mean, of hard drugs and things like that. So it's cool to kind of see him paying homage and respect to that song. Tim Hardin with Reason to Believe, which I've heard done by somebody else, and I can't for the life of me remember which cover it is that I know that song from. I don't think it's the original, but it's very interesting all the same. Crazy and On the Road Again, Willie Nelson songs. If You Could Read My Mind, Gordon Lightfoot. My Hometown, Bruce Springsteen. Wonder If I Care As Much, the Everly Brothers, which is one of the songs that has Neil and Jack on it. And it's such a weirdly odd record, but it so weirdly works in a way too. On the side here, there's a recreation of an old price tag for $1.93 up there in the corner. I wish this record cost $1.93. But that gives you a little bit of an idea for the music side. And in here, you have all these hastily scrawled lyrics. A little bit on the back. Actually, it's funny, they're all scrawled here, and then they're printed for My Hometown at the top there for some reason. But I think it might have tied in with how Neil was reading them in the booth or something like that. Reproduced by Jack White III, Neil Young, recorded at Third Man Records. Neil Young, vocal, piano, harmonica, piano. Jack White, vocal and piano and On the Road Again, and vocal and guitar for I Wonder If I Care As Much. Credits for all the songs done. My final thoughts on it are just don't, you know, this is not going to be a pristine album of folk covers, like it's, you know, not going to be at a high grade, all of that. They are putting out another version of it on record at a later time, later this month, I believe. That includes somewhat of a higher quality pressing and audiophile pressing, which I don't think will differ that much. Digital, a DVD with the recording process, the recordings and more of the songs. There's going to be a whole other thing about it coming out, but for right now, it'll be out digitally. For right now, it's just this, and I think Neil could have just recorded an album of folk songs and put it out, and people would have been like, okay, it's cool, it's Neil Young, it sounds nice, he's playing guitar, harmonica, he's not doing too many weird things or writing about Greendale or any of the above. He's just keeping it very, you know, simple and all that, and I like this. You know, it's cool, but it's not like it's amazingly remarkable. So I think it's interesting that he took this and put this idea through this old vinylograph booth, or whatever the hell it's called, and chose to reinterpret what could have just been a standard record in a very old kind of, I don't know, kind of a looking back in time kind of a perspective. And I think that's what makes A Letter Home just a little bit more interesting than what you might terrestrially just expect from an album of covers. That is it for my little vinyl unboxing here for Neil Young with A Letter Home. I hope you appreciate what you saw in this video. There'll probably be a bonus song or two with this one as well. I've definitely got some recording to do for those bonus songs, but you'll definitely hear some of that and get an impression here on my channel very shortly. But that about wraps it up for what I'm doing here in this particular recording session for today. There will be plenty more coming soon. There'll be videos probably a little bit every day as we go along. Again, just thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe. Click on the ads if you so choose to, not, keep me out of rags or something of the above that's disingenuous. To do whatever you please. Mostly just watch, comment, subscribe. Any interaction, all that is much appreciated, and I'm very grateful to anyone who watches my channel and, appreciates whatever I do in these videos. That's really the thing that makes it the most worthwhile. But thank you again, guys. Taking the world by storm in 2014. Come back here soon.